Okay, let's get right into it. We're all trying to manage our energy, right? Our time, our focus, our money. But what if we're looking at it all wrong? What if the real secret isn't about getting more energy, but about stopping all the little leaks that drain us dry every single day?
So, this whole idea comes from the work of Graham Farrer, and he kicks it off with this brutally honest thought. I was a sieve. Just think about that for a second. You're working hard, things are constantly flowing through you, but at the end of the day, what's actually left? It's such a powerful way to describe that all too common feeling of burnout.
And the thing is, this isn't just his story. It's pretty much everyone's story in our crazy modern lives. We are all leaking energy. You know, it's the time you lose doom scrolling, the money that just seems to disappear on stuff that doesn't really matter, the emotional energy you pour into things you have zero control over. We're all a bit of a sieve.
Now, check out this metaphor he uses. Imagine all the good stuff in your life, your paycheck, your weekends, your friendships. It's all like rain falling on your garden. Sounds great, right? But if your garden is on a steep, bare hill, all that rain doesn't soak in. It just washes away all the good soil, leaving you even more barren than before. That is the perfect picture of being busy, but feeling like you're going backwards.
And you can see how this played out for him personally. He started his career, busy but feeling productive. But then the leaks started showing up. The long days, the money that just seemed to vanish. And then came 2012, what he calls the drought. Some big life event hit, and bam! He realized he had nothing left in the tank. No emotional reserves in his relationships, no physical reserves in his health. He was running on fumes.
And here's the crucial point. This isn't just some personal failure. The source material calls this the modern trap, and it really is a trap. It's a system that feels like it's been perfectly engineered to make sure our energy, our time, our money, our focus flows out just as fast as we can shovel it in. The system wants us to be sieves.
So that brings us to the most important question, right? If we're all stuck in this trap that's designed to drain us, what in the world are we supposed to do about it? How do we stop being a leaky sieve and start being more like a reservoir? How do we finally start filling the tank? Well, the solution, and it's drawn from the world of permaculture, is actually beautifully simple. Instead of obsessing about getting more energy all the time, the big idea is to just catch and store the energy that's already flowing through your life. That's it. That's the fundamental mind shift that helps you avoid burnout.
And when you start doing that, you begin building what's called resilience capital. The best way to think about it is like your own personal battery pack. It's the stored energy in your health, in your relationships, in your savings that creates a buffer. So when that inevitable drought comes along, you've actually got something to draw on. You're not on empty anymore.
So what does this look like in the real world? Well, you can break it down into 3 areas. First, there's biological storage. This is the long game, like planting a tree today so you'll have shade or fruit in 10 years. Then there's emotional storage. This is about investing real, focused, deep time into the people who matter, building up that trust and connection. And finally, resource storage is about capturing any surplus you have, saving seeds from your garden, collecting rainwater, or even just banking a little extra time for yourself when you have it.
But okay, let's be real. Before you can store anything, you have to plug the holes. It's just common sense, right? There's no point trying to fill a bucket that's full of leaks. So the very first, most important step in all of this is to get really honest with yourself about where your energy is actually going.
So, just for a second, think about it. What are your biggest energy drains? You know what I'm talking about. The habits, the meetings, maybe even the relationships that consistently take way more from you than they ever give back. Seriously, just being able to name them is half the battle.
All right, so let's say you've got a few leaks in mind. Now what? Let's walk through a super practical plan to start making that shift from draining to storing. Here it is, a simple 3-2-1 action plan. Let's start with 3. Take your 3 biggest uses of energy. Maybe it's your job, your commute, and your social media time, and check them against an ethical filter. Ask, is this good for the planet? Is it good for other people? And am I keeping a fair share for myself? Then 2. Apply the storage principle in 2 key places. First, store some rest in your mind. That's your zone 0. And second, capture one physical resource in your home, your zone 1, like saving leftovers. And finally, 1. Get your immediate win. Identify and just name your single biggest energy leak. That's where you start.
When you start to do this, the transformation is huge. You really do shift from a mindset of scarcity to one of surplus. You go from feeling constantly drained to actually having a buffer. You stop letting life just happen to you, and you start actively building your own tank of resilience. It's a total game changer.
And really, it all boils down to this one powerful sentence. We tend to think of abundance as having more and more stuff flowing in all the time. But true abundance, real resilience, is just stored energy. It's not about what you earn, it's about what you keep.
So as we wrap this up, the big question isn't just about what you learned here, it's about what you're gonna do. When you look at your own life, your own habits, your own schedule, what's the very first leak you're gonna plug?